He's a creep. He does gain a little bounty from that, so he does get some scaling here.
Yeah, gets a little bit of free money, free cash in the bank. Let's see how it goes down as we jump into game number 1 of Cactus versus Supernova here at the China DPC. I am very excited for this matchup actually, because I think that Supernova just going from strength to strength, and I think they're going to show some cool stuff here. I hope they're going to show some cool stuff here. Both teams smoked up on the collision course straight into one another here. Yumi's going to be the one to reveal right here. 3-man stun coming out. That's not a good start. Yumi's going to be the one taking all of the damage here, and it is going to be the Chen going down. Now they move across towards Summer as well. Monkey King heading to the grave, and it's a double kill for Dong straight off the bat. The dream start for the carry player.
That was not what Cactus expected. They ran up, clumped up, and they just get hammered down. And the Fire Spirits come on top. It's so much damage early on from the side of Supernova and Cactus.
Yep.
That kind of early start can hurt you. Again, early aggression is very important now. Even a couple kills like that to Sven can set up his lane quite nicely, as he'll already have his Wraith Band flying in. And he's very close to just having his brown boots up.
That's insane.
So
how do you play
You're feeling
against this?
so damn good.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, I mean, you ever just smoke with your Chen in front? Like, that's pretty nuts.
Yeah, it's not exactly the front line here you'd expect.
Well,
and he had to go for penitence now as well, so he's not going to be able to persuade any creep early on. And EXP gain hurts a little bit more. It's a little bit slower going. So you're not going to be able to just get a creep instantly after a minute or two. It's going to take a little bit longer. You could try to penitence and run down, but you also got Boundless instead of Jingu, so you can't really maximize that either.
No. It's kind of interesting. I mean, what does he even do with it? Okay, just use it to try and trade with the Phoenix. Fair enough. Yeah, I'm interested in this bottom lane though. I've heard that Monkey King versus Tide Hunter is playable Tide now for Tide at the moment. So maybe we won't see Summer completely running away with this lane, especially with Sheep blasting away at him with these Fire Spirits. So we'll see what they're able to do. Nice use of the Fire Spirits actually, landing onto 2 quite a few times in a row there. And then of course we have mid, which is Storm Spirit versus Pango. I'm pretty sure this one's just a wash, right?
Yeah, this does feel a little bit easier for the Storm to manage. He can threaten at level 3 if he does decide to go for the Vortex early on. Storm also getting a little bit buffed up and just a bit more consistent with his Remnant radius to an even 300. So a little bit easier to just clear out these creep waves, apply some harass back onto Han. And for Han, I mean, he's just got to play it fairly safe. Early on, you can still run up and try to trade with Butterfly. But once level 3, level 4 is up, that's where the Storm can really start to take over. There you go. Vortex leveled up, double Overlord can come in, and that's where the pain really starts to get dished out.
Yeah, nice little deny there from the Storm Spirit as well. It's been a battle of the CS in the middle lane so far. And Storm is coming out on top. So any potential rotations from the portals this game? Very possibly we could see a Muerta moving in, or maybe even a Mirana sneaking across and landing a cheeky arrow, which I'm not expecting, utilizing the portals. So keep an eye out for that one. Yeah, a lot of good angles. I think just having a Chen means that your creeps teleporting with your army coming along with you can be pretty scary and a good flank. It's something you can try to look out for. The one thing for the side of Supernova, though, is that your top lane is going pretty well. And Dong, again, he started with those 2 kills. He's not being slowed down too badly by our Primal Beast. This does feel like one of the matchups for Primal Beast where it can be a little bit hard to just try to be aggressive on top. They've got control on both their heroes here for Supernova. Chola can just try to get the dead shot off, fear out the Primal Beast, and suddenly your aggression onto that Sven is just gone. Super durable as well on the Sven with that early Wraith Band, so the harassment isn't quite there to just shove him out of lane. Yeah. On the counter side, though, this Primal Beast, I feel like other heroes might have been losing the lane a bit more. But the Sven can't really do much. Even though he was able to get this really early Wraith Band and Blades of Attack, you still can't just sit there and click a Primal Beast. He's going to win the trade. You're going to give him stacks of Uproar. So kind of the ideal hero to give away 2 kills to at minute 0, I suppose. But yeah, the Sven obviously still doing very, very well. It can't be contested, that's for sure.
Mid lane, rotation into Butterfly Effect here as the Storm Spirit limps away on a sliver of HP. Moving across from Sheep almost gets them the kill onto the Storm Spirit.
Yeah, it's a bit of a risky spot for Butterfly Effect. You do have the stick charges ready for Han if you wanted to try to get aggressive on top. But the Fairy Fire is there to hold off a little bit. You do at least have heroes coming in to help with a Water Rune. Both sides do.
Yeah, Ron's joining in on this one. Nice fear, though, coming out from Chola to push back the Storm, and now Han still chasing him down here. Butterfly Effect could be in some trouble. The Fairy Fire comes out. Is it going to be enough? I don't think it is. Turns around with the Virtue Vortex. Not going to be enough to get a return kill here onto Han at all. And that's just going to be a death for the Storm Spirit. Lovely, lovely movement in from the Muerta.
Yeah, great movement from Muerta, great movement
Chen
from...
up in the top lane. They're going to run him down. TZY, Izumi, and the Mirana coming back in. They utilize the fact that the Muerta is away, and they get themselves a kill onto that carry. So that big start he had is certainly going to be knocked back just a little bit.
Yeah, just going to be twacked down a little bit. I think the one big thing as well with the Monkey versus Tide is you can have a Monkey solo lane. They do miss the arrow here, but they still try to chase Chola a bit.
It was close.
Although...
And now Sven comes back in. Yumi just goes straight away for the TP out. Not wasting time with this one as TZY and Fish King chill out, pump the brakes just a little bit. Meanwhile at mid, once again, Butterfly Effect could be in some trouble. Oh, Han misses the swashbuckle, and Butterfly Effect will get away. Might not have been enough to kill him. I'm not too sure, though. The swashbuckle always does more damage than I'm expecting.
Yeah, it might have been just enough, and... Ooh, misses again.
Okay.
Unfortunate.
Butterfly Effect just breathed a huge sigh of relief.
Yeah, he's staying alive. Your one issue right now for Supernova is, despite finding all these kills, you are giving a free lane to the Monkey. Like this,
and another
despite the changes to Tide, like you are still farming well in summer, although he is being run down now at the least.
Yep, they're putting on the pressure. Gonna get him back under the tower. Picks up those treads though, and is just ready to come straight back into lane. Deny the range creep, be super annoying. That is the aim of the game. Storm, he really could use this 6-minute rune, but I'm not sure he's going to get it. Chola preemptively just using the dead shot there to chase away the Storm, and it's going to be Han who bottles up the illusion rune, so another loss for Butterfly Effect. He just can't catch a break in this middle lane. He needs his level 6, but they're just not letting him get there. Look at the pressure coming out from the die right now as they swing 3 heroes into mid, but that does leave the Sven undefended as he just goes down in the top lane.
Yeah, you've got the output. Again, you've got this Chen that's just constantly clearing out your top expanded lane, getting these creeps up. He can leave his Monkey King alone. He doesn't really have to do anything in that lane. And they are clumping up mid, but their push isn't the fastest here from Supernova. So even though you're slowing down Butterfly Effect, you're not really gaining map control off of it. You're, in fact, starting to get pressured on your top lane, which... You know, these expanded lanes just do so much. It means so much more than the mid now. It just feels way more impactful to have pressure on the side lanes than it does on the mid, just because there's so much more jungle on sides. It's really down to that. The mid isn't the be-all, end-all lane anymore.
Yeah, it's the jungle, it's the Wisdom Rune, it's the Tormentors. There's a whole lot of partying to be done in the side lanes. And meanwhile, in mid, it's just a bit barren. It's just a bit quiet.
Yeah. I'm wondering if at some point we get the small camps back. I feel like that would be a very bad decision, but the mid does feel a little bit light on things to do with. At least, I mean, not even Roshan's there. Oh, down mid.
Yeah, they're making a play on Zahan here, but I'm pretty sure they can't kill this Pangolier. This hero is pretty tanky. He's got 10-1 charges and a Fairy Fire, by the way, so if you think he's getting low, then you might be mistaken. Butterfly Effect leaves empty-handed once again. Would have really liked to be able to get a bit of vengeance on this middle lane, but alas, 'tis not to be. So, how are our carries doing? I mean, the Sven is still top of net worth, even though he did get killed off twice. He got a double kill at the start of the game. He is a Sven who's had a pretty good time, so he's going to keep on doing pretty damn well. The Monkey King, pretty close behind him. In fact, the only...
They're not too far off.
Yeah. The only call that's not doing well is just Butterfly Effect, and he is doing so badly. He's behind his own Chen, for God's sakes.
Yeah, again, Chen can farm up pretty fast just by having Holy Persuasion grant him gold. So Chen doing Chen things does give you a decent amount as we get a pause on pause.
Yep.
And
Okay,
pause.
we good, guys? Go.
Han's like, go.
Yep, no messing
Oh.
around. That's a Pangolier player right there.
There it is.
All right. Quick little break in the action. No worries about it. Have you
I think, yeah.
have you seen more of this device coming out over more competitive games?
No. No, not as much as we expected. You know, we saw it do pretty good last time with our Clockwork in that one game, but I haven't seen it as much. The barrier is pretty sick.
Yeah. Well, Chola's actually got it queued up right now, so clearly a Pervice believer.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's an interesting one on the support Muerta, just running frontline. You are fairly durable. Not like the tankiest up front, but, you know, once you have the ult up, get the Pervice off, it does feel like it's harder to shove her away from a fight, so that could be one big factor as well. You have lost your top tower. So again, like this expanded jungle, I mean, Jumi has been doing a great job of just maximizing it. He's just been camping here. He's just been constantly picking up his creeps. His rotations have felt good. They're cutting off sources of gold. They're getting more gold on the map, under support. Mech already up on Jumi. Like, this is, even though you're bleeding gold out to the Sven still, you're scaling elsewhere quite nicely on the side of Cactus, and you're holding on to every objective just fine. Supernova, they'll have to find a way to tie it in together, get their own push going down bot, open up the map a little bit more.
Yeah.
Their vision game here on Supernova isn't as clean as it is for Cactus as well. Like, they've got a couple of forward wards, but not enough.
Ooh, going on the shield rune Pangolier here. This could be kind of tricky. The arrow doesn't land, and now the Ravage comes through. Oh no, we're on it. Blade leaps up to the high ground. Might just be okay as she bounces around all over the place, and it does look like they won't be getting anything from the Ravage either. They saved the Pangolier, but maybe not required for the Ravage there. I'm not too sure, but either way. Very, very tense moment in the middle lane there. As they're really just trying they're trying TCY. Might actually just run him down here. Certainly will trample damage way too much for the Tide Hunter to handle.
Yeah, it's a lot of output, and that was a big commitment to try to find that kill. Again, the mech on Jumi, it just stops all of that. Like, this is such an early timing on your support on your support Chen. Like, he has as much farm as Butterfly Effect, which is probably more in the Storm not having a good time, but it's still a ridiculous amount of farm.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
On the Chen. Like Hand of God's up, sustains through the roof. You know that Tide doesn't have Ravage. There's no Phoenix head to tie into that anyway. But you can just run around a map knowing that the teamfight control to tie into that Rolling Thunder for Han, it's kind of gone for quite a fair bit of time here.
Yeah, it certainly is. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of watching the Primal Beast farm. He's so noisy. Dude's got anger issues.
Yep. It's a very, very angry beast. As to be expected. He was much angrier in Ag's Labyrinth, though. I do miss Ag's Labyrinth.
Yeah, that's true.
I miss Ag's Labyrinth.
It was a great game mode. It was so much fun.
I think at that time I played way more Ag's Labyrinth than I did normal games. I just played so much more because, you know, it was like the same game. Like, it was one of those patches where it's like it didn't really change much. We were on pretty much the same kind of play style. So it's like, yeah, whatever. They'll get a push off on Supernova down bot. So they'll try to equalize the map a little bit more. This is what they've needed to do for a while. TZY still watching, though. He does have the Onslaught and Pulverize.
Yeah, he can't do it by himself, though, and no one's really turning up for this, so I'm not too sure the Primal Beast is kind of sitting around and waiting for, but just going to go and hit some creep camps, I guess. That's what everyone's doing at the moment.
Go back to farm.
Yeah, this is probably the quietest game of Dota I've seen on the new patch so far.
Yeah. I've kind of seen this in pubs where you kind of push, you take some early skirmishes, but you have so much map space to farm that it can be a little bit hard to jump people on these outer lanes, outer jungle lanes. So you can pretty much dodge each other for quite a fair bit of time and try to play catch up. This does feel like it doesn't really favor either side at the moment. I think both sides can farm fairly equally. The big thing you do have to worry about is maybe Butterfly Effect catching up down the line. Like, he does have his Falcon Blade. He's going into his Witchblade next, which I'm disappointed doesn't have an assembly thing. But I guess that would just be way too broken for early game items. Still would have been nice.
We could
Falcon
dream.
and Witchblade.
Yeah. All the blades. Yeah, I'm trying to set up something in mid. I'm not sure what, though. TP cancelled out from the Sven. It's a lot of map games going on right now. A lot of pressure. I imagine... I mean, I'm kind of waiting for them to try and make a play with this Ravage, but again, he doesn't have the Blink Dagger. That's a Vlad's coming out to him as well, so... Interestingly, he still goes for Vlad's on Tide, actually, when Wraith Pack's no longer in the game. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. Oh, you are?
Yep, this could be the play they're looking for. Rolling Thunder's going to be there along with the stun. Do they have the damage? The Hand of God does come through, but TZY is dead regardless, and Han will be able to take him down with a swashbuckle and shield crash combination. That's going to get them a nice little kill onto the Primal Beast. Chola just going to deny the regen rune, but might be getting jumped on here actually as the Mirana and the Stormnar are able to get off that ultimate. Pierce the Veil just means no more killing time for you. Definitely a tricky one for Storm to bring down if the Pierce the Veil does come off.
Yeah, you do rely quite a fair bit on your right clicks, so you're not going to be able to run down. You do force the ult out, but it's not the longest cooldown for Chola. Whenever they decide to get aggressive again, it's going to be up and running, and you do have Han's full defusal up. So he's got more output now on that Pangolier. And that timing with the defusal does. It makes it a very annoying here to deal with, especially for mana-dependent heroes like, say, a Butterfly Effect here. And we'll go for a smoke play out, but I think it's just going to be a warding run for good old Fish King here.
Yep, get some vision down on the map. Activate some watches. Very important.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. The prize is mine.
Oh. 50 minutes coming up. The shift to nighttime happens, and once again, they just seem to be pretty happy to farm on both teams here. I believe this does favor the Dire team, I would say, because they have the spend, but it does seem to be Team Cactus which keep on getting the advantages when it comes to money at the moment. Not by much, but a bit. I guess that's a Chen effect.
Yeah, it's pretty much just having this farming support that is scaling up pretty nicely.
Oh, jump in here. They're trying to go for the Pangolier, but I'm not sure they have the damage. He's going to get himself away, but in comes a Pulverize onto the Pango, trying to take him down with a BKB on TZY. TZY now trying to get himself out. The rest of the team just not willing to follow into that Supernova. Can they chase him? Supernova looking to go to the high ground here. The stun is going to land onto the Tidehunter. Tidehunter's a tanky boy, though, so they won't be able to finish the job, and Summer makes a wise choice to back himself away. Does not want to overcommit to this Wukong's command, and looks like he was able to bait a decent amount out from Supernova in the process, so not a bad disengage, honestly, from the side of Team Cactus.
Yeah, pretty good disengage. With the egg down, the Ravage isn't that scary. The Rolling Boulder is down as well, so you can't really maximize your AoE control. And look at Cactus, they just instantly TP down bot with 2 cores. They can start hunting if anyone doesn't around, but they get a good read. Yeah, I believe they saw them walk up in fade time from that Moonlight, so Dong just gets to get away. And the lead you had is going to start dropping. You're going to lose your mid tower. The aggression here from Nova can be sustained a little bit better now. They can reach into that bot jungle and just work the map just a little bit better. Again, you still have the side lanes to fall back to, but let's smoke up here on Nova.
Yeah, I like this. Move in, trying to play aggressive, trying to utilize their timings, and a great time in the map to do that as well. Look at that 17-minute mark. And Butterfly Effect, they see him, a little slow. Ooh, he still managed to catch him though, just on the tail end of the Ravage, and they are going to be able to kill him off, so very, very close to being able to make the great escape there, Butterfly Effect. His reactions were good, and in all honesty, Supernovas weren't great, but they still do catch him on the tail end of the Ravage. They will get the kill, so a win's a win.
A bit unfortunate for Butterfly Effect, zipping in that direction. If he zipped northwest, maybe northeast, might have been able to dodge that one out. Big kill coming out from Supernova. Again, keeping that Storm pretty damn poor here, as he's just been trying to catch up on Butterfly Effect, but hasn't been able to really close the... I mean, he's closed the gap, but he hasn't managed to go on top of these heroes. Still at least 1k behind in comparison to Han, who is already on his way towards that Ags here.
Yeah, and that's, I think, why we've seen not so much aggression coming out from the side of Cactus, because Storm is your playmaking hero, and he's so far behind that he can't really do that, so we've got to look towards other heroes. But TZY is trying to make some action happen here on the bottom lane, just trying to run down Dong, just chase him back off this lane, and that's going to work for now. But on the no stranger to the jungle, we'll have to just turn around and find some creeps to hit, and there are always creeps to hit on the map right now.
Always a lot to farm up. And Nova's still ready to go. They do have the egg ready here with a DD on Han.
Yeah, how much of a threat is that? We're about
Fades
to
out.
find out. No, wait, no, we're not. It's run out. And now they run in on the Primal Beast here, immediately picking up the Pangolin, slamming him into the ground. But they actually get off the Supernova. They're just going to turn around and kill it instantly, though. Great calls here from the side of Cactus. Just completely eliminate that option as Rolling Thunder comes bouncing through on Summer. He's got the BKB, so doesn't mind too much. BKB runs out, but Hand's pretty low. He's got to be careful. Gets a nice swashbuckle off onto a bunch of hero, and apparently he's been hiding out a haste in this entire time. So he's able to use that to back himself away. Provides helping out just a little bit there as well. And the Pangolin survives.
Dire's top tower is under
They can go again.
Yep, Summer gonna get feared up for now, turns around, he throws down the Boundless Strike, Arrow's gonna come through as well, doesn't really catch as TTY throws his body into the mix, and it's just gonna be another hero dying, trying to save his carry, but just ends up dying in the process as well, and that's gonna be 2 heroes dead on the side of Cactus. Supernova, they're finding the fights they need.
They're finding everything they need. Side of Cactus, I mean, it always looks like they're so close to getting more out of these fights, but it's just disconnected, right? Like, they farm aggressively just after taking the fight there for Summer. Butterfly Effect's already on a different side of the map, kind of building up, trying to catch up. So they're not on the same page in terms of trying to contest an area. And Supernova are just coordinating these team fights really well. They have so much team fight with the Rolling Thunder, with the Ravage, with the threat of Supernova. They've got the AoE control to follow through from Dong. And they're starting to reach the point where this Sven is going to be really hard to manage. He is 3k ahead of Summer right now. He's already got his BKB plus the Echo reassembled along with his Mask of Madness, going for the Blink next. Once this Sven can get on top of you, that's where the game gets really scary for Cactus. They just don't have a good solution to this Sven. I mean, they have some healing, but it's not enough to overheal to what they can output on the side of Supernova. It's just way too much damage.
Yeah, that Blink Dagger's coming out, and he's gonna hit his timing in buckets here. Gotta be really, really careful now if you are the side of Cactus. Hopefully they watch this Blink Dagger get delivered, and they adjust accordingly, because these are some really big timings for the Dire at the moment. You need to respect it. You need to be ready and have a counterplay in your pocket, which, we haven't seen a lot from them so far in that regard. No counterplay to your Storm getting absolutely turned inside out at mid, and not really having much of a playmaker because of it.
take us. Dire's top
Yeah.
tower is under attack.
Bottom
Just
lane.
this catch-up game for Butterfly has been causing a lot of issues. They'll go into the Roche here on the side of Supernova. No wards to check on Cactus, but they will get the scan off, so they know the Roche is underway. It does go
Yeah.
fairly fast here.
Yeah, Sven's going to pop the ultimate for it. I'm not really sure there's going to be much of an attempt here from the side of Cactus. Certainly won't be. They back themselves out of the area. You've got to accept that's just not happening. If you go towards this Roche pit, they're just going to run out the pit and kill you. You have many ways of making that happen as well.
Yeah, they still have that burst in control, and now they have 2 lives to give on Han. No,
Yeah,
but they had to use that just to take the Tormentor.
yeah, I think so. I think so. Not ideal, but it does give Mirana her shard. The leap fart, as I like to call it.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I don't know how much impact it will have. I guess we'll find out now, which is going to be interesting. The bonus charge feels much more impactful than the farts, but who knows? You could do some silly stuff with that.
Nah, I'm
Yeah,
a
this is what
fire
I'm
joy.
talking about. Look at the levels on Dong. 18. Look at everyone else. 13 on Han, 10 on your Phoenix, 14 on Chen, and 9 on Chola. Like, the EXP disparity is insane. It's just insane. You die in a fight, and your core lives through the entire fight, and that disparity just keeps growing.
Yeah. It's it can be tough for supports, especially when it comes to XP, but yeah, absolutely thriving here on Dom at the moment. I mean, he's just been uncontested in the jungle, turns up to a few fights, has a pretty good turnout for it. 3-2-2 on the scoreline right now as well, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, always dank. Have that number kind of sitting anywhere on the map. 4-7, Cactus, again, still within a good margin. Like, despite Dong getting all this farm, they have kind of struggled on Chen and onto Han. So they've kind of not scaled up as fast as you'd expect. And Cactus are still doing a great job of just trying to work their way into these timings. Like, you've got the full Kaya Sanj now for butterfly effect, so you can kind of cop some hits.
Yeah, a bit of a jump hit, but not going to work out, unfortunately. Runs a slippery fish to fry.
Is under attack.
Yeah, Fish King just kind of poking and prodding, gets the arrow, jumps into Treton, backs off. Playing poke. Just scaring them off a little bit. But this should scare off the side of Cactus. Ag's now up on Han. So more output coming through for our Pangolier. But they do find an objective as well up top. So they've gotten full control over this top jungle area now. And then the forward camps are there. They can just keep farming up and get some good build up. Can't really pressure onto the high ground. Inside of Supernova, the ideal thing now is just, use that Aegis, get a push in tier 2. Like, if you take this bot area, you feel pretty good as well. Top is probably the priority, but you've lost top yourself. Just take what you can get and ensure that you can at least match the farming pace that Cactus has on the map. And at some point, just take over.
Yeah, and don't even pop in the gold strength for that tower down at bottom, which is kind of crazy there. But, I guess they know that these heroes just aren't going to make themselves targets. They know that no one's going to come near them whilst they have this Aegis on the Pangolier. So I'll just use the ultimate to get some objectives instead. They are setting up for something here, though, on the side of Cactus. The Moonlight Shadow going to get TZY. I mean, he's just allowed to walk in and grab whoever he wants, and whoever he wants is going to be the Phoenix. But the Pangolier actually jumps in and tanks the arrow, but it's not going to be enough to keep the egg alive. The egg will fall, and now, well, air charging to everybody right now. I'm not sure Supernova are going to be able to hold this line. They back up to the high ground. They're still chasing on the side of Cactus, though. Arrow jumping through. Nice split from the team to get themselves away. Storm jumping in very deep. The Rolling Thunder's coming through here, so Storm has to back himself out. He's got to be really, really careful with him around. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the same luxury. She's going to get brought down now. Summer pops down the Wukong's command, chasing them back, trying to hold his own in this fight. Now jumping out the Wukongs. Oh, the Chen, the stuns. Is it enough? Yes, it is, just to take down the Aegis. But now they can turn over towards Summer. Summer needs some help. Is he going to find it? In comes a Primal Beast, but it's a split second too late as the Monkey King has gone down, and they can turn their attention towards TZY now as well. And an unfortunate timing on the pause there from the Chen.
Yeah, right in the middle of TZY trying to escape. Should still be able to make it out. But another back and forth fight. And they clear out the egg. Felt a little bit messy. If they bursted down the Phoenix first, you might have found a easier time on that fight before it devolves into this chase in the jungle.
Yeah, but the Pangolier coming in clutch.
Yeah, just managing to stall out a little bit. I think your big issue right now is that when you do see the Wukongs committed out, oh, okay, they catch TZY, you can't escape. They got the dead shot.
Absolutely not.
The big issue is when the Wukongs comes out from Summer, there's no one to hold heroes in that Wukongs. Like, Han just pops Warcry and they run out, and they've got more armor as well, so your burst damage on the monkey just isn't there. So it's just difficult to maximize your Pause 1 who's been farming a lot. Has the harpoon ready, but can't really do much with it.
Yeah, that's for an creative TP there from Jumi. Yep, necessary tips coming out from the side of Hannah's. Yeah, he just gets insta-killed.
Yeah, just melts. They can't find anything else on the high ground. Mid-tier 2 still stands, top tier 1 still stands, but they've gotten a lot of use from that first Aegis of the game here. With all this movement forced out, and the side of Cactus, they're still trying.
Yeah, they're out of the map right now, and I'm not sure they should be allowed to be. They're just going to kill off the Monkey King.
Yeah.
Summer dead in a blink of an eye. The Mirana going to follow him to the grave as well. Ah, my goodness, what was that? I mean, Cactus are falling apart at the seams here. Supernova have got their number and then some.
Yeah, it's a little bit strange. Like the TP early on from Jumi, this movement out from Summer without the rest of his team, it's really disconnected. So now they've got to threaten to the high ground. They can clear out another tier 2 if they want and just get control of the entire map. Once they have that done, it feels really difficult for Cactus to play this game. Like, the timing I'm looking at now is something like the Ags and Butterfly effect to tie into your Wukongs. because you just need them to stay in that area. You need to get the damage off from Summer in that Wukong's, but it's just not there.
No, it's definitely not. I'm not sure what the counterplay is to that either. Monkey King's just one of those heroes where when he falls behind, he just feels really, really difficult to have much impact on. I do like the harpoon idea, but in practice, it's might be kind of rough. It's also particularly bad on agility heroes as well, harpoon, because it only gets 10 agility. It gets 16 strength and 20 strength and 16 intelligence, but only 10 agility, which is a little sad.
It's not the best feeling for Monkey King right now. Mind you, he also just kind of stayed in farm for quite a fair bit of time. So you might have gotten more value from Battle Fury if you were looking to play a farm game and try to stall out just to at least match the pace of the Sven. But he opts for the more aggressive build, and the aggression just hasn't lined up.
No.
So have to wait for more items to come through. Butterfly Effect will go for the BKB first. So having that debuff immunity up against these heroes is going to be big. It's kind of funny that Huerta does damage through it as well.
Yeah, and quite a decent chunk as well. You know, I mean, 50% damage reduction is a lot, obviously, but still, you feel those shots.
Yeah. She has something to do now when BKBs are popped, which wasn't true last time, so kind of a buff.
Yeah, that is true right there. So let's see. Cactus, are they going to be able to get anything done on the map right now? It doesn't look like it. I'm not sure what this Moonlight Shadow's for. Guess Mirana was just kind of sneaking through a slightly dangerous part of the map and just thought she needed a little bit of cover.
I don't think they can really afford to get too aggressive right now in Cactus. If they do, they have to get like a solo pick-off. Just find these heroes that are playing one by one, punish the side of Supernova for trying to use a lot of the map, and go from there. You do have massive issues in facing up against Dongo. Full AC up and running for the Sven. So he's got even more ways to mitigate that physical output of Summer. Like, I don't think the Monkey King can kill anyone. When Warcry and AC's up, you're probably just not killing anyone, even if they're in your Wukongs.
Oh, now he sees him. Summer jumps onto the tree line, but they find him immediately. They get on top of the Monkey King, and they take him down in the blink of an eye. And once again, the Monkey is the victim. He just dies so damn fast. This was not part of the script.
No, certainly not. Your pause one's just pretty underfarmed in comparison to Dong. Like, it's equal everywhere else. It's just the Sven factor. He's gotten way too much from his first 2 kills, from his lane being pretty alright despite the ganks, and they'll just go back into the Roche.
Yep.
Again, not going to take too long with the output you do have. You don't even have that much of God Strength left, but you've got enough damage. And there's no counterplay from Cactus. They don't have vision in the area. They can't run in. They can't contest. These new Roche pits are, as if you're behind as a team, it's much harder to equalize by contesting, because it's in an extreme part of the map. So you can't really just posture yourself there and try to contest.
Yeah, you don't really have the same kind of high ground approach. Like, it is on a low ground, but I don't know. For some reason, it just doesn't feel the same. I don't quite know why, but it doesn't.
I think it's really just the physical distance for me. Like, Roche centralized was like, it made it much more of a point where you can kind of run around, a point where both sides can equally control. Now it's like, depending on the time of day and depending on the state of your map, it's either you have a good Roche advantage or the enemy does or no one does. It's just down to where you're positioned. So it feels a lot more open in one way, in that it's not as scary to go into Roche. At the same time, it's a lot easier to get that secondary life for the high ground now.
Yeah, Roche definitely hard to contest with this new position, but they will move into the Martyr into the middle lane. This should be an easy kill on Chola, so that's something. Kill, grab the gem as well. That's not nothing, but I'm not sure they want to stick around here, because I don't think Supernova care too much about their Muerta being dead. They'll still look for a fight if they can find one. See how cocky and still Cactus are willing to be here. Yeah, the answer is not very.
He clears out the army. Clears out the army, he sees that double damage rune, so he's just gonna pick it up, bottle it up. And now they can really start to consider the second set of racks down mid. Clear out that tier 3, go on to the high ground. with the DD up. He actually uses the DD and just passes the... Well, he keeps the bottle still, which is an interesting choice.
Yep, in case there's any more DDs in the future. Very smart. Oh, Sven jumping into the Storm, finds him. The stun's not long enough though. The Storm is going to be able to get himself away, but he's pretty low on mana here. Let's see if he can actually fight this one. BKB is pods, they turn around, just throw the Sven into the air with the pulverize, just trying to waste his time as much as possible. And now they come in, but the Ravage is there, stun them up. They'll back themselves away as the Supernova comes out. They're going to turn around and just try and kill off the Supernova, and they're going to be successful in doing so. 3-man stun, the Stummer trying to stand his ground and fight into these heroes, but it's just not enough. Godlike on Dons gets himself the triple kill here. It's not looking like it's possible for Cactus to win fights anymore as Supernova head to the high ground. They start knocking on the tier 3. What do you do on Cactus?
They can't do much. They popped everything they had there. No Wukongs, no damage output on Summer.
Yep.
The AC plus Warcry, it's just too much durability coming out from the side of Supernova.
They can do something, and it starts with G and ends in G, and Summer's going to do it.
Yeah, call. It's just too tough to fight into. It did look like Cactus, they were doing a good job of finding some early aggression. Right, they utilized Jumi really well in the Chen. They utilized the teleporter really well.